Let's do it.
Let's go.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't know what just happened to my voice, but we're gonna ignore it. It's great. Today's book is heavy. It's a heavy one. I am gonna start off with a warning, I guess, or a trigger warning, sorry. There will be mentions of sexual assault, so if that's triggering to you in any way, shape, or form, please don't watch it. I will put a little, blurb at the bottom, I guess, letting you guys know when I will be talking about that, but it shouldn't be more than, 2 minutes-ish. It shouldn't be long, but it is an important, part in the book, so, and there was no trigger warning in the book, so I feel like that said, let's hop right into the video. So today's review is gonna be Symptoms of Being Human by Garvin, and this book is so everywhere, all the time. So it follows Riley Kavanaugh, who is a gender fluid teenager, and their dad is a congressman running for re-election. So, at the advice of a therapist, and I'll get into why they have a therapist in a second, they start a blog where they can basically just talk about the ins and outs of being a gender fluid teenager. And so they have a therapist simply because they are a congressman's child. And so one night the whole family went to a press dinner, and it didn't really go well for Riley. The gender dysphoria was hitting hard, and they didn't feel comfortable in what they were wearing. They didn't feel like they belonged, I guess. And so Riley had a really, really bad panic attack, and they just kind of spiraled. And so that's kind of where the book starts, is Riley's parents move Riley's school, so they switch them schools, and they get them a therapist, and it's just this whole thing. And so it's hard because I have so many things I want to say about this book, but I don't have the words to say them, if that makes sense. I know that doesn't make sense because you guys aren't in my brain, but there's so many things about this book. Ooh, so yeah, first day at the new school, Riley's sorry, I keep doing that. They, are wearing just ripped jeans and a band t-shirt with Doc Martens. It's a pretty neutral outfit. And so, sorry about that weird cut. My iPad hit 20%. So she just kind of stopped all functions for a second. But as I was saying, first day at the new school, these mean girls make a comment, and it kind of sends Riley over the edge a little bit. They're already so nervous. It's a new school. They don't really know how they're feeling that day, more masculine, feminine, neutral. So their emotions are kind of already on high alert, and so the fact that these girls just made comments about Riley and their appearance didn't really sit well with them. But, you know, they make a couple friends, and it's great, and it's all hunky-dory, until Riley starts getting, like, I don't want to say hate comments, but, like, hate comments, on their blog. And it's, like, this whole thing, because, like, they're not necessarily threats, but they're just more, like, comments along the lines of, we don't want you here, go back to where you came from. Like, same message, different font, more or less. And so Riley's having a hard time kind of navigating all of it, because, you know, yeah, even though their therapist advised them to start the blog, they feel like they can't really go to their therapist because they don't know what their therapist can do for them, you know? And they can't go to their parents because they aren't out yet. And so they feel like they have to be out in order to be able to go to their parents about problems relating to, their gender identity. And they can't go to their friends because they think that their friends don't know. So it's like this whole thing, and Riley just feels really, really alone, which breaks my heart, because it's like, no one should feel alone. Like, this is, like, a genuine thing that people have to deal with, and it sucks that, like, people feel this way. You know, Riley just kind of ignores the hate comments on the blog and just goes about life as normal, or as normal as life can be, being a closeted gender queer person, who's dealing with all the things Riley has to deal with. And so since that first dinner, like the press dinner with the parents, they haven't been to one because it just brings up too much anxiety for them. So when their parents are like, yeah, you're gonna go to this one and you're just gonna deal with it, Riley kind of freaks out again. It's not bad, but it's just kind of like I have to go and I don't really want to go, but, like, I should go, but, like, I don't want to go because what if this happens again? And so they go, and what happens is genuinely awful. Like, so they think no one knows about their secret, I guess. They think no one knows about their gender identity and how they're gender fluid. But someone knows, and someone outed them. They called the press and was like, hey, yo, Riley Kavanaugh is gender fluid. And so that kind of causes chaos in of itself, and so the press just kind of show up at the dinner, with the parents and everybody there, and the press is like, oh, what is it, governor? I don't know what their dad is running for exactly, but they're like, oh, Governor Kavanaugh, what was your reaction to Riley's gender identity? And he's like, excuse me, what? What gender identity? What do you mean? Like, what? After the night that they've had, you know, being outed by a stranger to literally everybody and everything that breathes, like, they just needed a minute. So they go to their friend Beck's house, and what was that? And, you know, Beck wasn't there. And so Riley goes to a spot that they like, it's like an old movie theater, but it's not. It's like an old drive-in type thing. And this is when I'm going to be talking about the sexual assault. So if that's triggering to you in any way, go ahead and fast forward. It'll be like a minute and a half-ish, 2 minutes. But so as I was saying, Riley goes to like an old drive-in theater, and these kids from school show up, and these are the kids who were bullying them on the first day. They hold Riley against the car, and they try to pull their pants down to see what's there. And that, like, I don't really know how to, like, even process that, because Riley goes on to say, you know, after it happens and everything, they're like, yeah, that happened before. That was in middle school, and we were changing in the locker rooms, you know, for PE, and these kids did the exact same thing until the coach came in and stopped it. So the fact that Riley's had to do this not once but twice, or she's had to experience this not once but twice, like, but so after the incident, you know, they talk to their parents, and their parents are like, we don't have a problem with it, we just don't understand it. So work with us to understand it and, like, better ourselves so we can, like, understand you. Like, you are our child, and we love you. We want to understand you, you know? And it's just, like, this whole thing, and which is really sweet. Like, I love that their parents are, like, genuinely making an effort, because I don't know, I feel like if you have, like, a queer child, it can go either way. You know, you're either really supportive, or you're like, get out of my household and never come back. Excuse me. So the fact that Riley's parents were like, yeah, I mean, we don't really care. We don't understand it, but, like, you do you. I liked that. I wish they were a little more, like, vocal about it. Like, they weren't really just, like, nonchalant. Because that's big for Riley. And that's basically, like, the whole premise of the book is, oh, I'm not out yet. How am I going to come out? Like, it's terrifying. So I wish they weren't really as nonchalant about it as they were. But very little reaction is better than a bad reaction, I think. So the book ends with Riley talking at this conference for, like, the Queer Alliance, which basically is, like, you know, if you're part of the LGBTQ community, we are here for you. We will provide, you know, services for you. Like, it's really a great organization. I wish it was real, and I wish it existed. Like, they'd provide, like, safe houses, so if, you know, their family reacted poorly, they could get you set up with somewhere safe. They'd provide food. It's crazy, what they do. But so Riley was talking at a conference for the Q, that's what they called it, and their dad showed up, and it was like, I think it was supposed to be like this big moment of, like, hallelujah, you know, their dad showed up, and their dad supports them in what they do and their cause, and I think that's what it's supposed to be, but that's not how it was executed. I think it was a good idea for the book. It's a really unique concept, and honestly, I wish there were more books like it. I just don't think it was executed as well as it could have been, if that makes sense. Which breaks my heart, because, you know, like, the book didn't get good until chapter 28, when everything was hitting the fan, which sucks. I was telling my roommate multiple times, I was like, girl, I don't know if I can finish this book. Like, I don't know if I can do it. She's like, well, you know, Like, just give it a shot. And I'm like, I've been giving it a shot. I'm on page 100. Like, I can't do it. On a scale of 1 to 5 stars, I would probably, I don't know. I'd have to give this book like 3 stars, 2.9, 2.8. It was a good book and unique concept. I just don't think it was executed as well as it could have been. Like, my beef with the book is just like, I think there were supposed to be like sappy moments, and those sappy moments just weren't executed as well as they could have been, you know? The parts where Riley is sitting in the car with Beck or Solo, which are their friends, and they're just kind of like talking, like, that was good. The parts where Riley is dealing with the blog and, you know, just kind of like their emotions and thought processes, like, that part's good. I just didn't like the sappy moments because I don't think those were, again, executed as well as they could have been executed. Alright, guys. Well, that is all I have for today's video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so that way you'll be notified when I post, or upload, I guess. I'm gonna try and get a more consistent, like, upload schedule. With books, it's hard simply because I don't know how long it's gonna take me to read a book. I try to speed through them, but it's also like, I just want to read the book, you know, and enjoy it for what it is. So, hopefully I can get on a more consistent, what is it? I just said it, upload schedule. But, yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!